Good morning, natural gas. It's Thursday, July the 30th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of L Trading Company. And today is the new spot contract, September. And currently, right now, we're down. We're currently trading at 269.60, down 2.6 cents here, almost 1%. As you can see, the RSI is still turning to the downside. We still remain below the 13 and 48 period exponential moving averages, but we may have a few more days to the downside because today is storage day and expectations are around plus 35 to 37 BCF, which would be bearish against the 5-year average, but slightly bullish against last year. So this is going to be a neutral report again. So we may be down later today and possibly even tomorrow. And as you can see right now, we're going nowhere fast, but we are getting close to an oversold condition. And let's take a look at the hourly chart here with the pivots. And for right now, we are below the daily pivot, which came in today at 271.40. We're holding above first support, 267.40. The RSI is going sideways, looking to possibly turn. Maybe we get a bearish reaction and then some short covering here ahead of the weekend and tomorrow for the, today being the first day for September contract. So let's take a look at what else is going on. There it is. This is Reuters story here. Egypt confirmed that a drone caused fire on 2 gas vessels at Damietta. That's right. These are LNG facilities here. It hit the Energos Winter, and that fire spread to the gas log Salem. So the fire is out. That's fine. But this means that the axis of resistance here is expanding to hit LNG all the way out in Egypt. And let's take a look at ERCOT here, a little closer to home. We are expected to be over 90,000 megawatts here for system-wide demand. And combined wind and solar is going to be about 44,500. And as you can see right now, natural gas is picking up almost 39.4% here of the fuel mix. That's good news, 25,000 megawatts. But the key here is solar is just slightly edging out natural gas for current fuel mix here at 25,645 megawatts. Wind is light because it is hot and humid here. Let's take a look at the national grid. Our pain points, well, not too much here. PJM, SPP, and MISO here are expected to be a little stout today, but not extreme. ERCOT here, despite the fact that we're going to be over 90,000 megawatts, our peak expected power price, $64.50. Wind and solar do well. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and as you can see, above normal temperatures around the Great Lakes here, above normal in southern Florida. And again, the key here is the interior west here. This is dry and hot, and that's going to be the pattern we see over the next few weeks. Let's take a look at the 8 to 14 day temperature. Yep, and here's some above normal temperatures coming into Texas here and along the East Coast, in particular up into the Carolinas. So what else is going on? Let's take a glance here at September, October, November. This is from NOAA just about 2 weeks ago here, and look what it's saying. We have a chance for above normal temperatures coming up the East Coast and of course the Pacific Northwest, but equal chances of being seasonal here in the upper Midwest. We'll see this pattern continue as we come into super El Nino conditions. We are coming up on El Nino. That is developing right now and it's causing some of these strange weather patterns. And here is that Novides Chan, and this is a typical El Nino weather pattern. We get cooler temperatures along the southern tier and wet. The northern tier is dry but warm, and that will be classic El Nino. What else is going on? Let's take a look at the April through the October strip here. And as you can see, it's been trying to push back up toward that trend line, get up here around, call it 317 here. The RSI, though, is indifferent right now, starting to go possibly into a sell mode, but looks like this is going to start moving potentially higher. We'll keep a careful eye on this because let's take a look at the long range outlook here, the seasonal temperature outlook from NOAA for next July, August, and September. Why does this matter? Because if we have super El Nino conditions develop this winter, it will carry over into next summer. And look where we got the temperatures. The West is above normal for this entire period, and it's dry, folks. The drought continues there, and yet the entire country is at least some above normal temperatures here, leaning toward warmer temperatures. So watch out for that April through October strip. It may be bottoming soon. And let's take a look at the extreme temperatures today. We do have extreme temperatures right now for over 2.2 million people. That is mainly in Texas and the Panhandle and New Mexico. This expands out into Arizona here, and then we start seeing some extreme temperatures in Montana. And this is the interior west pattern that we were looking at earlier. This is going to be continued dry here and very, very hot. But look at the East Coast. Not too bad as you get north of Virginia here into New England and all the way back over to Chicago. Stays fairly seasonal at this time. The heat is trapped in the interior west for now. Then on next Wednesday, we start to see some progression of warmer temperatures moving up the East Coast all the way back up into Maine. And let's run the model here from the 6th there. And as you can see, this is the European model here, the AI model here. We do start to see some warmer temperatures creeping up the East Coast. That's good news for AC load. But as you can see, mainly here, Texas, the interior west. And let's take a look at Europe, which is going to continue to boil. And this is the near term here. Right now, warmer temperatures pushing into Germany here, the interior toward Austria, Italy. Then warmer temperatures show back up into France on the 2nd here. And on the 3rd, this continues a strange pattern of just warm, warm, warm all over from France back up into the interior of Europe here. And as you can see, this is the 11th here. Yet another wave of very warm temperatures in Spain and France. Over 300,000 people had to be evacuated for wildfires. This continues to really press on the firefighting community in that area. And this continues to be very, very warm all the way out through August the 14th. And let's take a look at the Dutch TTF. This is as of yesterday. And yesterday, this is the Jan contract pushed up 5% because we had those attacks over in Egypt. And we continue to have attacks going back and forth between Iran and the United States. So if you're counting on the Strait of Hormuz being open anytime soon, good luck. Let's take a look at the European storage, 56.1% full at this time. It continues to trail at minimal levels because the front to back spreads are just not supportive, and Asia is starting to outbid them for spot cargoes. And speaking of Asia, it is warm. It is going to continue to be warm in the northern part of China. This is from Shanghai right here all the way back up to Beijing, the capital city here. This continues out as standard pattern here as we go all the way through the forecast, all the way out into the 14th. So warmer temperatures in northern China, probably pulling on spot cargoes, at least for the next 2 weeks. And we've got one tanker loading up here at Ras Laffan. Yes, there are other ships here, but these are crude oil ships or cargo ships. All the LNG loading is on this northern part of the port. And as you can see, there's just one tanker there at this time. And let's take a look at the U.S. LNG facilities here. Cameron, steady as she goes. Fantastic news. We'll keep a careful eye on this as we get into September, October to see if this goes down for some seasonal maintenance. How about Freeport? Steady as she goes here, even though they are doing maintenance here all the way through August. And here is Creole Trail, which feeds Sabine Pass, one of the pipelines. And as you can see, we still have open capacity right now, over 300,000. And here is Corpus Christi, running pretty well here, almost 2.6 out of 2.75. That's running pretty good here for this time of year, being it so hot and humid. And let's take a look at Calcasieu Pass here. We've got well open capacity here, almost 290,000 of capacity open here. So don't know what's going on, but it's just not optimal. And Plaquemines, it's actually opening up some capacity, starting to ease back off the throttle here. So we may be seeing some maintenance going on here as well. And Golden Pass, well, same story every day, it seems. About 330,000 MMBTUs for Train 1. They are still trying to put on Train 2 by the end of the year. We hope that some cooler temperatures will come along and allow Golden Pass to start ramping up here. And here's our nuclear fleet. Right now, currently, we are looking at 1.2 gigawatts that are offline, mainly here. Waterford is now a 3% outage here in Louisiana. And of course, Monticello at 51%. We'll keep a careful eye on Palisades. Again, it's supposed to be up this year. We'll hopefully see that coming online maybe in the fourth quarter. And let's take a look at the tropics. Nope, nothing there in the mid-Atlantic. How about the Gulf? Nope, nothing there either. And why? Well, we've got a Saharan air layer. Look at this bowling ball. It's going to knock anything out as it moves towards Central America here and up into the Gulf of America / Mexico. And here comes some more dust. If you wanted Saharan dust, you're going to get plenty of it this year, even more than last year. And this is going to inhibit any Atlantic storm season development here. And here's the Canadian wildfires. We've got some smoke, obviously, in the Pacific Northwest. Most of the stuff in Canada, though, has started to calm down. This is just small smoke, particulate matter here pushing into the United States. Nothing unusual right now. And here's our drought. And the latest drought is we still have drought in Florida up into the Carolinas, pushing back up into southern New Jersey here, and starting to develop in New England as well. But look at the interior West, especially Colorado, Idaho. These are basins to feed the water out here in the West. And so there's some big problems here. Even in Europe, the Danube is going to be at very, very low levels. In fact, it may record low levels since 1990. So that's really bad for barge traffic. We'll keep a careful eye on that as well. Because France, remember, has 70% of its nuclear fleet on rivers. And as the water temperatures warm up, they have to start ramping those units down and have to buy more LNG. How about Tokyo? And this is Japan here. This is the southern islands of Japan. We've seen a lot of earthquakes here in the last few days, including some very big ones here. We have some nuclear units just here near Sendai and some nuclear units up here in Saga province. So this is keeping a careful eye on it right now. All those nuclear units are fine, but should we get more earthquake activity, that would mean Japan would have to start thinking about bringing in LNG to replace that power. And here's our sea of red. Unfortunately, this oil and gas E&P sector, stocks between $2 and $10 billion, have a high short float. And as you can see, everything is down, unfortunately. So it's been a bad week. So with everything going on right now, we have the new September contract here trading at 2,708, down 1.4 cents, or just a little bit over 0.5%. At this time, the RSI continues to trade sideways. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.